Welcome to the Fabulous Fifties and Beyond. I'm Jim Pollard, your co-host, with my wife, Jeanetta. We're going to be talking about the new Market House Theater play that's going to be performed April the 18th through the 28th. I think it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be pretty unique. And they do say it's an adult entertainment show, so well, we'll be talking about what's going to be going on during that play. You stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
And he'd say, go with what you got. Start from where you are. Give it your best shot. Keep reaching for that star. Get in the race. Keep your own pace. Keep moving and never stop. Just go. Go with what you got.
Welcome back. Our guests today are Stephanie McClendon and Valerie Duncan. They have the two lead roles in the play Hallelujah Girls. Now, we discussed this a little earlier. Hallelujah Girls is a little something like the Dixie Swim Club. And it should be an exciting show and interesting. We're glad to have you all as guests with us today as we talk about this play. I'm just going to let you all just kind of get in and start telling us a little something about it.
Well, okay, we'll get right into it. It's about a group of women who are very close friends and have been friends for a long time, and they have just lost a dear friend of theirs, and just coming from a funeral. And so they are, of course, saddened by this, and my character, Sugar Lee Tompkins, just decides that it's time to stop putting off your happiness and to move forward and to make all your dreams come true, because she saw her friend who had, said she wanted to do so many things, and, her life was cut short. So this is about Sugar Lee really trying to motivate her friends to change their lives and make their dreams come true. And we have quite a bit of conflict involved as well.
I play Bunny Sutherland, the rich Georgia Peach socialite who has been jealous of Sugar Lee since childhood. And even though I get everything I want, she gets the things that I want. I covet a lot of the things that she accomplishes. So I make it a point through the whole show to sabotage every good thing that happens to her. And unfortunately, she swallows her pride and moves right ahead, and I have to think of new ways to sabotage her. So,
So she's going to fill her bucket list regardless.
yes,
Yes, absolutely.
yes, she is.
Yeah.
And so, but without giving you any kind of teasers, it's interesting.
It is. We have a lot of fun
Oh,
together.
we have a blast.
Happens in a small Georgia town.
It does. Eden Falls, Georgia. Yes. And so there's a lot of, small town
Gossip.
and conflict that go on, and so it's it really is such a fun show. A lot of comedy. These women, are all dealing with different life issues, and we kind of play on that. We make fun, and try to show what they're dealing with, but still make it just, absolutely funny. So.
And the bonds that they have is just, it's
Yeah,
wonderful. The way the five women, I am not in that friendship, but it's wonderful to see the way their bonds hold them together, and they support each other. And, when one of them's down, the other four are right there trying to pick it up, and just build on it and encourage. So it's really interesting to watch how that unfolds.
Well, you see things when you talk about people being depressed or down and out. It's because they don't have friends to get together with like this.
Right.
And just be honest with. And I know one of my girlfriends and I, when we lived in Florida, we made a pact that if one of us died, the other one would go clean up their house before anybody saw it,
I
Nice
love
positive thinking.
Oh yes, I mean that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have. Yes. Yeah, friendships are important, and
They are
throughout
very
your
Which
life.
speaks
So.
well of their housekeeping
Yes.
abilities.
Yes. Yes.
Well, most people have a few things lying around, you know.
Yes, yes, of course.
I just told mine she needed to clear my computer history. So.
We didn't even have computers back in those days.
How did the name Hallelujah Girls get attached to it? Do you know?
I'm trying to think. Let's see.
You bought a church.
Well,
Oh, yeah, it's in
yes,
the church, isn't
it is. And I guess that's because Porter says that's
Porter
why.
started calling
right.
you guys the Hallelujah Girls.
Yes,
Yeah.
so she actually, to make her dreams come true, Sugar Lee buys an old church building and decides to turn it into a day spa. And so that's quite interesting, seeing the transformation from, the beginning of the scene, beginning of the play. It shows, the church building and her going in, and then it's the second scene, it's renovated into the spa.
It's
So
pretty well the whole setting inside the church.
Yes.
it is. It is.
Yeah.
Do they sing Hallelujah, or do they sing songs? Is that part of it?
We do have a character, Crystal, who loves to sing, and so she enjoys. We have a piano that stays in the building the entire time, even when it's turned into a spa, and she really enjoys singing her jingles. So
Yes.
that is a fun part of the show. She is hilarious. She's so funny.
I have always been impressed with Market House's theater. I mean, they're, the people who come and their talents to be on.
Yes.
It's
We're very, very fortunate in this community with the talent that we have, not only on stage, but off stage as well. With of course Michael Cochran, he's wonderful, and this director, the person who's directing this play, her name is Bonnie Daniels, and she's directed some other things at Market House, and she is fabulous. We have learned so much from her. It's really been wonderful, but we appreciate all of them.
We've seen a lot of plays there, and I guess, is this one more of a reality play?
If you cut all the comedy out of that, all the the jabs and the one-liners and it's definitely. I mean, because every character has something they're dealing with. I mean, whether it be a child, a husband, I mean, life in general, loneliness. I mean, every character in this show is dealing with a real life issue, one way or the other. And if you cut all that comedy out of that, I mean, it's a nice way to look at someone who's going through something and yet still have that circle of friends, help encourage them. But yeah, it's definitely, it reflects a lot of real life situations.
Yeah, and I think people relate to those type of plays a whole lot more today. See, I guess, we have a lot of reality shows on TV, but I don't think they're real reality shows, if you want to know the truth.
Oh no,
There's so much fake, and I think people do relate to something that is a real reality situation, if that's a good phrase to use. And they need more of that. That's the one thing that I've said for years, that if you had all your problems printed on your forehead and I had all mine printed on my forehead, we would not want to swap.
no.
No. And that everybody's thinking about, well, the grass is greener over there. I'd rather be their situation. Not true. It's just everybody's got their own life to live, and I think sometimes it plays portray them in a way where people can put themselves in that position.
Well, you never know what somebody's going through.
No, you don't.
I mean, you really don't.
That's true.
I mean, some people close to them may know, and others not know, but it's...
I think that for my character, I think that's my biggest problem is that I'm this lonely, married socialite trying to, have friends, not good at it, and she's always been the popular, go get 'em girl who's always been surrounded by love and friendship, and and so my demon is, I want what she has. I may have all the money and this and that and this and that, but I don't have the one thing she does have, which is friends and the camaraderie that the girls have. So,
yeah, we have this friend of ours in Florida that all the years she was the life of the party. I mean, she comes to my 50th birthday party dressed like Minnie Pearl, you know, the price tag and everything. And now she's going through some real hard times of apprehension and what's the other word?
I had it in my head before you said something.
Anxiety.
Anxiety attacks.
You know.
And can't even
it's
sleep.
so
have a hard time sleeping.
It's so unreal or unlike her.
Right,
you know,
right.
But yet she's having to deal with that now, and in a bad way.
Well, you just never know. I
No.
mean, there are, you know, many seasons of our life, and I just think you just never know at what point it could change.
Right.
And so.
And it can change just like that.
It can. It certainly can.
Fast
So,
as you can snap your finger.
absolutely.
I mean, physically, a year and a half ago, mine changed bad. You know, because I've been active all my life and healthy, and then bang, I get knocked down like a 2x4. So she's had to be my caregiver. And I was telling somebody earlier, I said, I've not always been the kind, sweet person, you know, when you get sick, you know.
He's a type A personality.
That kind, huh? I know.
But and you know, it's and I've told her many times, I said, I don't want to be that way, you know, but I don't know, I am sometimes, and it's difficult, you know, and I know it's hard on her, so.
Well, life events can change you too, so you know they can turn you into a different type of personality. I think sometimes it kind of.
That's very true. You know, a lot of people who would never say a curse word in their lives, after they reach a stage in their lives, they're cursing everybody. And if they knew they were doing, you know, really understood what, they would be, you know, astounded.
Right.
I mean, I know my dad was one of the straightest people that you would ever meet. I mean, he had a heart attack and they had him on morphine. Well, he pinched a nurse on the butt. He would have died. He would have died.
Amazing what drugs will do to you.
If he knew what he was doing, he would have just died.
Yeah.
I thought about telling that story, but I wasn't going to tell it.
Well, it's you know, it's a reality, and
it is.
But that's the reason that people need to go to see things like Halloween.
Well, it's an escape.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
this is a wonderful escape, and it's you know, we are so fortunate to have Market House here in Paducah that offers brings so many wonderful plays. I mean, we've got a great season coming up next year, and it's, you know, we're very blessed.
But see, everybody needs the life.
Oh yes.
I mean, and to me, I mean, two things that I've liked the most have been at Market House were the comedies and the musicals.
Yes.
I mean, they're fabulous.
Yes,
you know.
they are. Yeah.
Okay, we're halfway through, believe it or not. But you know, we enjoy talking about things that are going on, especially in the community, and encourage people to go and take part. One thing we want to talk about when we come back is the youth program, because Market House has a tremendous youth program, and I think that encouraging our youth to participate in things like that is great. So you stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Diseases will be cured here. A new form of energy will be discovered here. And here, the first flight to Mars will be launched. From inside this room, the latest social media craze will be created, as will the most downloaded song of all time. And in here, the next blockbuster 3D movie will be made, because great futures start here. It's where the Boys and Girls Clubs, in partnership with Microsoft and Comcast, are teaching kids computer skills in a program called Club Tech. It's just another way we're helping millions of students succeed today, tomorrow, and beyond.
Welcome back. Our guests today are Stephanie McClendon and Valerie Duncan, and we're talking about the new Market House Theater play that's going to be performed April 18th through the 28th, called The Hallelujah Girls. And I think I like the title, and we were discussing where the title came from, and it's because the setting for most of the play is in an old church that has been converted into a spa. I've heard churches being converted into a lot of things. First time spa, though. So that ought to make it interesting within itself. But one of the things we've been talking about the play prior to this time, one thing we want to talk about is Market House Theater and some of their other activities, because they're greatly involved. They have a great youth program where they're involved in the public schools. They go around the different schools and conduct workshops. Do they literally teach classes or just do the workshops?
They have classes.
Crystal does, I mean,
April.
April does classes, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
She has the Footlights program.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I think it's a great program. So I'm going to let y'all, I just know they do a great work, don't know a lot about what they do, so I'm going to let y'all talk about that for a little while.
Well, my son actually is involved in the youth program there. He is actually this year he is a teaching assistant, so he teaches the younger kids all the way up through the high school age. And they have, the Footlights classes occur on Saturdays, and they have different sessions, I guess is what I want to say. But he has gained so much. April is just a wealth of knowledge and talent, and has taught him so much. And honestly, that's how I got involved with Market House, is through my son, because he's been involved in several plays and musicals there. So, but we're very, very fortunate again for April and what her investment in the youth here, because she teaches. She has so many children that she teaches, and yes, I would encourage any child who has any interest at all to look at the just maybe go to the website and take a look at their class schedule for Footlights.
It's interesting that we call her our foster granddaughter. Lives in Tampa, and she graduates this year from high school, and she wants to be in theater. That's what she wants to study, and she's been accepted at Belmont, because see, Belmont and Vanderbilt have like a co-op program in theater, and so she'll be coming to Nashville next year.
That's great.
Which is good for us, because we'll get to see her more
Right.
and get her closer than Tampa.
Yes.
She's been dancing
For
for
years.
a long time.
Yeah.
A long time.
Yeah, but she wants to go into theater rather than dance, and so we're excited about that also.
Well, you can dance in theater.
I know that.
Some of those musicals that I've done, boy,
Yes,
we were
yeah.
dancing all
Oh
over
yes,
the place.
oh yes, yes.
Right, but she's excited. In
Good
fact,
deal.
she wanted to go there so bad that she said if they didn't accept her this year, she would move to Nashville and go to like a junior college or somewhere to
Aw.
get closer to get in. But they accepted.
That's
But
great.
we both are graduates of Belmont.
Are you?
Good deal.
Yeah, and so in fact we go back to Belmont every December, and they have a holiday hoops program, and on that night they put up a big Christmas tree and set up the chairs, and we go back in our role of Mr. and Miss Santa Claus, and anybody wants to have their picture made with Santa
Oh,
Claus
that's
can
nice.
come in and have their picture
That's
made.
fun.
I get tickled at the president of the college. He came up again this last year, and he says, "Well, who would have known that Santa Claus graduated from Belmont?"
That's great.
So we have a lot of fun doing that.
There's an article in one of the magazines about, did you know Santa went to Belmont?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
That is awesome.
Yeah. So it's we've been doing that for a lot of years. And it's been a lot of fun.
That's
It's been a good
wonderful.
trip and everything. When we talk about Market House Theater and their outreach program, how does one get involved with Market House? I bet there's a lot of people that are watching, and I was always impressed at Mary Margaret, at her age, and how she could act
she's
and
a
remember her
Remember those
lines.
verses?
I tell you, that was one lady I was just so impressed by, was her
Loved.
and her work.
I
And
was,
how could people get involved with Market House?
you can check out the website, mhtplay.com, and that has any upcoming auditions, any information actually that you could want as far as, they can always use ushers, letter stuffers, any around the office help, building sets, painting sets. I mean, anything like that. Actors, actresses. I mean, there's a wealth of opportunity there for anybody that wants to get involved or volunteer.
And let's talk about the diversity, because just the plays that they do, like y'all are doing, is not all they do.
No.
I mean, like they do the dinner theater thing,
Yes.
and the murder mystery thing.
Yes. Yes.
And then Michael, of course, does this Halloween thing.
Yes.
Masquerade ball.
Yeah,
And
and
the
then the
masquerade
masquerade ball.
And don't they usually do a Christmas thing?
Yes, there's usually a Christmas.
Some kind of little, mostly children's.
It is. Yeah.
This season was
and
Christmas Story.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's
Stephanie was in that.
there's a what I'm trying to say this for is that there's a place for almost anybody and what they want to do.
Sure,
anything.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. If you
Yes.
want to be involved, there is no limit at all. So, and especially for the youth, any child can sign up for the Footlights classes. So that's, if you want to do it, it's there. It's there for them.
But I mean,
so.
set building, like you said.
Oh, absolutely.
Even running lights and sound.
And
I mean,
lights,
that
yeah,
opportunity
yeah.
there. I mean,
Yes.
it's just, I mean, the opportunities are endless.
And
as far
that's
as
what
you
Market
can do.
House, that's what they depend on, are the volunteers. I mean,
Yeah.
so it is important to get the word out that there's so many opportunities.
Yeah.
I think it's great that they have a chance to do that, because not in every town could they find it. The
You're very
children,
right.
No.
a lot of them grow up in it, and they go from
That's
being in a little child thing to bigger things.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's what that's been exciting to watch some of the, because we've been watching Market House. I guess we've been involved about 18 years. It wasn't soon after we came back that Valerie got involved, and to watch the kids grow up to the adults.
Yeah.
And go from
Right.
and just watch them. And again, some of the plays that we've seen, like Annie, and I mean, just I'd hate to start naming them.
And I have seen a few of my pieces of different things appear on the stage mysteriously.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
We had a warehouse with stuff in it and different types of furniture and stuff, and all of a sudden, there it would be on stage.
It comes in handy.
And it's people like you that provide that. It's
Other ways you can volunteer.
much needed.
Yeah.
Much needed. So.
Yeah. And then they have sponsorship programs also, right? And they, if I remember correctly, they've got everywhere from what is it? Is it $3,000 or $1,500 down to like $50
Yes.
different sponsorship
Yes, you can be
programs?
a sponsor. Or,
Yeah.
I don't know how. I can't remember.
cannot remember how it's bracketed.
It is, but there is always there's always a place for you to be able to give.
From an individual sponsor to a corporate
Yes,
sponsor.
yes, absolutely.
And of course,
And
it's all
you know,
important.
Well, it is
is.
because nonprofit
Yeah.
they rely on
Yeah.
on the community to help support them and keep them running and to bring us all these wonderful shows.
I know. Well, it's interesting, again, like I say, the things that go on there and the activities and keeping the youth involved. Moving across the street and developing that section was pretty neat also. That was about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that.
It was right after my first, it's probably been about 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, when they began to develop that building, because that worked out real good for them and all. Well, again, other than Hallelujah Girls, the big one's coming up too, right after that.
Les
isn't it?
Mis.
Yeah, Les Mis. So is that in June?
Yes,
It is in
that
June.
is in June.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
my
that's-
son is in that one.
Oh, really?
Yes, he
And
is.
that's the last one for this season.
Yes.
That's the
And
big
then
summer
we'll-
musical.
Then we'll
Yeah.
open up next season. I don't remember what the opening show.
I
I know the
don't-
ending. Our end of season musical is Young Frankenstein,
Oh, really?
and we'll be doing Steel Magnolias next year.
Yes,
That should be good.
And
That's about some women kind of on this
It
thing.
is.
It's along the same lines
it
as
is.
Hallelujah
It is.
Girls.
It's a lot
Yeah.
like this one. It'll be wonderful.
I recognize that name.
So that should be good. I mean, there's good men actors too, but I think the women outshine the men
Oh,
in the acting
well,
categories
we
here.
won't disagree with you there.
I'm
But
sure
no.
it depends upon the play.
Oh, the
It
play
does.
too, yeah.
It does. Yes, we
And-
can't say that.
And the
because-
roles that they
Yes.
have.
But I
Especially,
mean-
you know, we're saying that, and we've got a couple men in our
We
play.
do, we do.
and
We're
so
surrounded by
Who are the men in
a
it?
ton of talented actors and actresses.
It is Jim Roush
Okay.
and
Michael Byer.
Michael Byers.
This is his first
I didn't think I heard
production.
his name.
Yes, yeah. He plays my love interest.
Oh.
So we've got a lot of there's a lot of romantic
Animosity.
energy going on
Yeah.
throughout the whole play. So he was my high school sweetheart. So.
Well, I know this will be funny, I imagine.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it'll be a
so
good
much
comedy.
fun.
And we want to encourage our people to take part. You do need to call and get reservations.
Yes.
Tickets are on
Tickets,
sale, and they
yes.
are selling.
They are selling,
especially
yeah.
because this is during a quilters weekend as
Oh,
well.
yes.
And you can get them
So-
online as well as call, right?
Yes, you can.
Sure can.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And it's mhtplay.com.
Play.com. Yep.
What's the phone number?
270-444-6828.
Office closed on Mondays,
Office
Yes,
is closed on
yes.
Monday, open Tuesday through Friday, 12 to 5.
12 to 5. Okay. All right, remember that, people.
You go, girl.
And we want to encourage you to stay tuned to our programs each week. We'll be bringing you something going on in this area. You never know what we're going to bring to you. But we want you to be excited about our program and pay attention to what's going on. Remember, you can find us on the web at thefabulousfifties.net, and we encourage you to go there. All of our programs are streamed there, as well as there's a blog there with different information that will link you to the different things that are going on in our community. So you do that, you check out our website, and you'll be back here next week for another program. Remember, use it or lose it.
Can't see as well as I used to. Can't run as far or as fast. Sometimes I think that the old me is becoming exactly that. But when I start thinking of all I don't have, that's when I tell poor me Beethoven was 50 and deaf as a post when he wrote his Ninth Symphony. And he'd say, go with what you got. Start from where you are. Give it your best shot.